President Vladimir Putin's longtime critic Alexei Navalny's jail term has been extended by a further 19 years. Navalny was already in prison for fraud and extremism charges. Hours after the sentencing, Navalny, via his lawyers and supporters, said in a statement on messaging platform X that he was facing a life sentence behind bars unless the current authorities fell fast. The Post went on to say that the sentence was intended to silence opposition and deprive Russians of the will to resist. Navalny's spokeswoman said she feared he would be facing even tougher jail conditions after his prison term was extended. Kyra Yarmish said the extra time in a maximum security penal colony was politically motivated and intended to silence him and cow the Russian people into submission.
This sentence is not for him, it is for Russian people who witness him and see what is happening to him. Putin is trying to frighten as many Alexei supporters as he can. So this enormous term has only one goal: to scare as much people as possible.
Meanwhile, the U.S. State Department has called the verdict an unjust conclusion to an unjust trial, while the European Union has condemned what it calls another politically motivated ruling and has called for Navalny's immediate release. And the United Nations isn't pleased either. United Nations Human Rights Chief Volker Turk has also made public his serious concerns with the sentence handed down to Alexei Navalny and has called for his release.
What I can tell you is that the UN Human Rights Chief, Volker Turk, just now said that the new sentence imposed today on Alexei Navalny raises renewed serious concerns about judicial harassment and instrumentalization of the court system for political purposes in Russia.
The 47-year-old Putin critic will now serve a total of 30 years in prison, a term long enough to keep Navalny out of politics and the limelight as long as Putin is in power. But the critic has often cried foul to his time in prison, saying that the charges against him are bogus and a method deployed to silence him. Navalny's supporters cast him as a Russian version of South Africa's Nelson Mandela, who will one day be freed from prison to govern the country.